Right now, a shadowy mafia is stealing the last ancient forests of Europe. But what if we could stop them with this? Until now, these vast forests have only been defended by a small renegade team of nature protectors, risking their lives every day.
I was poisoned and I survived, and I had to move to a new safe house.
They have revealed a web of corruption that leads all the way back to the Romanian government, giant corporations, and maybe even inside your living room. To fight it, we need a new approach. And on the other side of Europe, we found a young inventor who's been working on a device that could change the game. So we are sending Trishala into the mountains of Romania to test this new technology and to help save the last 1% of Europe's original forest. We are Planet Wild. Welcome to Mission 31. It is thought that Europe was once covered in forest. As much as 80% of it could have looked like this. But now there's less than 1% of that untouched wilderness left. Much of it hidden away in the Carpathian Mountains deep inside Romania.
Oh, wow. I've stepped into a totally different world.
But today, this ancient world is vanishing, which is why we're joining forces with a guardian of these forests, a man who has devoted his life to defending Europe's last great wilderness.
This place feels like the time stood still. It's a bridge from the past to the future. It's alive.
This is Gabriel Paun, founder of Agent Green. His job is to protect these forests, a relic that has survived at least since the last ice age. Each one of these old trees is an entire ecosystem, a home to birds, insects, fungi. And today, this forest is home to some of the richest biodiversity in the world, with bears, wolves, and lynx still roaming these parts.
This is the one place in Europe with the highest number of species of flora and fauna. So we have to fight like hell for it, and we have.
Agent Green goes undercover to investigate and expose exactly who's stealing these forests. A lot of these areas are protected by law, so they're technically not allowed to be logged, but the Romanian government grants permits to cut them down anyway. So with the evidence they collect, Agent Green takes them to court, again and again and again. And they win. So far, they've saved almost 60,000 hectares of ancient forests that would otherwise be gone forever. Their work is so vital that the United Nations have even named Gabby a champion of the earth. But it has also earned him enemies.
I was poisoned and I survived, and I had to move to a new safe house. Sadly, it's very dangerous to investigate illegal logging, especially if you're dealing with big players.
To fight, Gabby needs every possible weapon in his arsenal. And that is what we're here for. Inside this box is an intelligent system that could change the game. But how will this actually stop this? That is the important question.
Logging in Romania has gone out of control. An Agent Green investigation showed that between 2021 and 2024, so in just 3 years, 138,000 hectares of wild forest were cut down. To put that into perspective, if you lined up the trucks carrying all that wood, bumper to bumper, they would stretch across the entire United States, from San Francisco all the way to New York City.
When the caterpillar was cutting those trees, I felt they were cutting into my body. I feel part of it.
Criminalule!
So how is this allowed to happen? And who is doing it?
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
They attack me with the intention to kill. The violence is extreme. I know that most people wouldn't expect this in Europe, in European Union, but this happened. People are dying in this country defending forests, so we have to be very careful. Here is super dangerous to park, even if it looks empty. We have to go there. We're just at the edge of the logging site. The entire slope used to be primary and old-growth forest only 20 years ago. and it's still ongoing. So they're cutting right now the last patches of primary forests.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This piece is at least 100 years old. There's like a whole chunk that I can't actually count. That's insane. This is trash, by the way. This is what the loggers make no use of. They've just thrown it over here. So these are trees that are dead for no point whatsoever. So why are so many powerful entities interested in taking this forest?
Well, it's all about the money. Cutting ancient forests is far cheaper than managing legal plantations. The wood from these old-growth trees is denser, stronger, and far more valuable, making it almost irresistible to large furniture corporations. In fact, most of us could have a piece of illegally harvested old-growth forest in our home right now. Does this look familiar to you? How about this? Or this? Or this? In a report by Greenpeace, all of them have been linked to the logging of Romania's ancient forests. With billions of dollars at stake, politicians grant illegal permits to do it. There's a so-called timber mafia that silences opposition, and everyone who profits from the system will stop at nothing to keep the machine alive. So here's what we're going to do about it. First, we need to stop the loggers. Until now, the team had to actively search huge areas of forest for illegal activity, which is not only dangerous, but really time-consuming. Often, evidence of logging is only discovered when it's too late and the forest is gone forever. But what if the forest could communicate with us and even call for help?
And that is what this is for. Meet the BioT. It was designed by a team of young inventors specifically to protect forests like this. The BioT uses a 360-degree microphone connected to a satellite system and specifically designed software to target the logger's biggest weakness. Chainsaws are super loud, and the BioT can detect any chainsaw within 1 kilometer of this area.
Monitoring this forest in real time means that we can know instantly whether illegal logging is happening in this area.
This is Florian Geiser from Hula Earth, and with their technology, we are basically wiring up trees and sending them undercover. But installing it means that I'm gonna make my way up there. Okay. Once the device hears the sound of a chainsaw, it knows that something is wrong in real time and immediately sends an alert to Agent Green. A ranger receives the alert and deploys to this location to confirm illegal activity, collect photographic evidence, and notify the authorities. Within a week, the logging is stopped, and the loggers will know that somebody is watching.
If we can catch the loggers in the act, this makes the entire region much less appealing to illegal logging in the long term.
Okay, wait. That's actually not even the best part. As well as detecting chainsaws, the BioT uses its 360-degree microphone to listen to the natural sounds of the forest. For example, if the BioT hears a black woodpecker, the AI chip on board knows that there must be beetle larvae here. And that means there's a lot of large-diameter deadwood, which in turn provides microhabitats for owls, bats, and dormice. Multiply that with the sound of every bird, insect, and mammal, and the BioT can trace the entire web of life within its perimeter. And together with satellite data, it builds a biodiversity map of the ecosystem. For Agent Green, all of this is hard proof the forest is alive and thriving, and evidence that they can use to demand official protection forever.
That's why the Planet Wild community is funding the installation of 10 BioT devices strategically positioned in locations most at risk of deforestation. And on top of that, we're supporting a full year's worth of patrols for the ranger, ultimately protecting 300 hectares of pristine virgin forest. With the results from this pilot, Agent Green aims to mobilize their huge public following and pressure the government into installing BioTs across vast areas of Romania's old-growth forest.
The days when I'm able to clear my mind of all the negative thoughts, I find my source in exactly forests like this that we saved. They say, hey, it's possible. It's possible. And when you make sure through contracts and laws that forests like this will remain untouchable, then it's a booster of motivation to keep on running. I believe we all have to join forces and fall in love again with the places where we live. And we become the nature defender in the place where we live. We don't have to travel the world to fight for nature elsewhere. Fight for nature where you live. Just fall in love with the place and think about all the layers of what falling in love means.
This genius solution is now already defending a first piece of ancient, irreplaceable forest. And it proves that destruction is not inevitable, that with evidence, courage, and people who truly care, even the most powerful interests can be challenged and even stopped. In fact, any of us can take a step to defend nature. And you can start by joining Planet Wild as a backer. Every month, we go on a mission to bring back endangered species, clean up our oceans, and rewild entire landscapes. And it's all community funded. As a backer, you're directly supporting organizations at the front line of nature protection. And you can see your own impact here on our channel. There's a link down in the description and a QR code over here. See you all again next month. Over and out.